Hi everyone, this is Jamie from Homeschool Autism Life. Today, I had mentioned earlier that I was so super excited about today's video because I have an awesome guest and her puppy. Well, her friend's puppy.
Friend's puppy, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to have this video about volunteering and what it looks like. And yeah, we've got an awesome perspective, and she is my awesome friend, Faye. Faye, this is everybody in YouTube land.
Hello, YouTube.
So just tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name is Faye. I actually live right across the street from Jamie. She's right that way. And we've been neighbors for
Oh, a long time.
probably 6 years or so.
Something like
Something
that.
like that. Yeah, it's been a while. And yeah, so live across the street. I like to do photography. I love to travel. Love pets. I am married and have one son who is 18, starting college this year. Can't believe it.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's
about
basics,
it.
Yeah.
So let's get into it right away. So hopefully this lighting isn't bad. I don't know. Anyway, or my powder is like white-faced.
Beautiful.
So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was approaching a volunteer, and I chose not to do the poster thing just because it didn't feel right to me. It's just the whole stranger and then trying to figure out if they're going to be the right fit and stuff. So with Miss Faye here, we didn't know each other really well. It was just kind of neighborly, hi, how are you? And through this process, we become friends. But the reason why I thought she was a good fit was because her and her best friend, Tammy, are kind of notorious. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, we have a reputation.
But they're goofy and silly and make no apologies for it. And I thought that that's why she would be a good fit for the whole Sunrise program. If Darian's running into a wall, she wouldn't blink too hard about running into a wall too. And if I thought Miss Tammy had time, I would have approached her as well. And if she watches, you can if you have time. No, yeah. Oh yeah. I'm all about, recruiting at the same time as doing videos.
Multitasking.
Yeah. So at that time, I had approached you and was just talking to you, and I think I actually mentioned that it felt like I was going, even though I wasn't like showing this or talking to you in this sort of way, but it felt very much like I was saying, you obviously have lots of time on your hands, that I will give you something to do. Come hang out with my son for free. And then, by the way, you don't know how to play with my son properly, so I'll train you to do that. It felt so weird and awkward, and I've done it several times since, and it still feels like that. So the question I had for you was, what did you think when I approached you about volunteering?
Still awkward. No.
It totally was for me. And then I'm like, I am talking way too much.
I guess the interesting thing was when you actually approached me about this is because I had been actually praying about this for about a month already at the time, feeling like I should get involved with community more and invest in people's lives because that gives purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you came up and approached me about this, it was kind of, it could have been very awkward, but it was kind of like, huh, okay.
Yay.
So yeah, so it surprised me that she thought that I could do this, but I guess it was kind of not unexpected because I was looking for something. So it's almost like, oh wow, this could be something that I've been. This could be it. Yeah. So.
That's awesome. So yeah, what were your concerns about doing it before or as you thought about doing it?
That I would wreck your child.
And see, for me, I'm like, you're not teaching him to swim. Like, that makes me nervous. I'm like, I will get in the pool with swimming lessons with him. But playing with him in a playroom for us is just like, okay, don't take it so seriously. You're playing. But yeah, no, you're not going to wreck our children. But
I've come to be okay with this now.
yeah,
But it could be anytime you're dealing with someone's child or
yeah,
like therapy, label
yes,
anything.
yeah,
No training, but no,
yeah.
that was the biggest concern, was that I'm just gonna wreck this child.
And no, you
He's
did
fine. He's fine.
awesome. He is absolutely great and doing well with her help as well. So we're excited. I'm looking at my notes. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. When I did training, guys, when I first got the online program, they didn't have the training module on there yet. That came several months later. And then I watched it and I kind of liked my way of doing it better. I'm sorry, Sunrise program, but I did. I took the time to actually boil down what I had learned from the program down to 3 pages, and then I included testimonials from people who had done playroom stuff with other kids, just to kind of give people the idea of what was going on. But it was a sheet that they could take home with them, and then I had you watch me play for a while, although that didn't work very long because Darian thought Faye was daddy behind the door because we have a squeak in our door in our hallway, and so then he asked her to come in, but she could still watch while she was in the room. But it was one way that and then you started for a few minutes and then we built up over time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, just so you know, that was kind of where we ended up. Someone's trying to phone me. Okay, we're still recording, so no worries. No, at the end of the day, that was kind of how I did my training. And if you want, I can send you, if you have any questions or you want to see what I did, I can actually email that to you if you send me an email and private message, and I'll tell you all how to do that later. But how did you feel about the training, and was it clear?
Training was good. The brain is fascinating to me. So hearing even how autistic children think and how they interact, like, that was fascinating to me. It's super cool. It was good. Like, it taught me what to look for, how what they're thinking, kind of give you an idea, because it's different working with an autistic child when they don't respond. Like, I feed off energy.
Yeah.
So my natural thing is, if I'm talking with you, then you should be interacting, and that's how I feel. Like, oh yeah, like, we're interacting. And it's hard interacting with people who don't. So the training helped me get a better understanding that, yeah, like, they actually do want to be with me. Like, Darren enjoys it because he just interacts differently.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it was good in explaining how to do it. The videos that you had me watch are really good as well, to get examples of, what you're writing on paper is theory. When you see it on a video, it's actual practical application. So,
Yeah.
It was good.
Good.
And very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So what has volunteering been like for you?
Overall good. Like I said, it's I feed off people's energy, so yeah, I can run into walls with children. That's no problem. But when the red light, green light thing, when Darian forfeited red light, it's hard not to take it personal, to think, oh, I'm failing, I'm wrecking the child, can't do this right. So that's a little hard. But the more I spend time with Darian and the more Jamie keeps reassuring me,
Yeah.
you're fine.
You're doing great.
It gets easier, yeah, and it is super cool to see Darian make steps.
Yeah.
And like right from, even though he red lighted more in the beginning, but the very first day, actually, when you brought me into the room, like, I was expecting him to be quite standoffish and kind of ignore me, but he crawled right into my lap. Like, okay, this is good. Okay,
Yeah.
so I feel welcome.
So yeah, that's his welcome.
Yeah. Yes, it is very rewarding even to think that you can be helping a child. Like, you think of, like, in the long run, in the down the road, when he's completely recovered and interacts more with people, like, that is super cool.
Yeah.
As like an inspiration for when you think of the potential there. But I know you had mentioned too, like, maybe some of the difficulties in volunteering was Darian's very physical, and the easiest
Mm-hmm.
way to play with him is to roughhouse.
Yep.
And things like piggyback rides, and like it was my fault I started the game. Tornado, like he hops on your back and you spin around and run in circles, and because it's like a tornado. And it's fun, but I am over 40 and my back ain't not what it used to be.
Nope.
So I was getting a little bit sore. So
Yeah.
we had to stop that.
Yeah.
And because that was my main connection with Darian, the best way to play with him, it was rough there for a couple weeks
Yeah.
because he kept wanting to do this, and I had to keep saying no, and it's supposed to be a no free zone, or else try to distract him,
Yeah.
and I kind of felt like we stalled there for a few weeks trying to figure
It
out.
caused a lot of red lights.
Yeah, a lot of red lights, and not quite sure where to go from here. Like, how do I play with him now when we took that away from him? And it took time, and Jamie was good with helping him understand too. And now we don't have that issue. We found other stuff to play with
Yeah.
and do. So
Well, and it for us, the best way to handle that was just say one time. And if we said one time, then he knew, like, we're close to the same age. And and I couldn't do it either. I'd mentioned that in the last video that I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't. And so, yeah, saying one time, it took him a while to accept that that was the new normal. But once he did, then it was like, oh, okay, well, let's figure other stuff out. So let me see. After 10 months of Sunrise program with Darian, do you have any remaining concerns?
not like I did in the beginning. I'm not afraid of wrecking him anymore.
Good. Good.
Because progress has happened.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I said, if you were taking him to a pool and I said, like, teach my child to swim, there would be concerns.
Yeah,
I'm going to wreck
me doing
you.
that.
Not because you're not a good swimmer or a teacher, but because there's water and they could drown. But no, for playing in a playroom where he's safe and in his room and he knows, and then I'm just outside. I've actually left once or twice for appointments because, doctors are like, yeah, we don't do weekends. You're comfortable and happy just going, okay, well, all we're doing is just throwing balls or putting pins in arms and falling all over the floor or, whatever. So it's not like, and even like this is the thing too for everyone who's watching is that even if you as the parent are feeling like maybe I'm not doing this right or correct or whatever, for the most part it's a process of learning just what your child likes and marrying them with the Sunrise principles. And if you have that kind of figured out, then it's not that big of a deal if one day something happens and you're like, hopefully maybe we'll see. So let me see, what else do we have? What do you think overall about Sunrise and playing with Darian, your involvement, all of that kind of stuff? So first part of that was, what do you think about the Sunrise program?
Super cool. Yeah, I went reading or hearing some of the testimonials of people who have gone through it, especially seeing the founder's story.
Yeah.
The guy does he own it now or runs it?
No,
or?
the first Sunrise kid is the
CEO.
educator of global education, I think is what his title is.
It's way up there.
And then his parents still are a part of the program as well.
Yeah.
But they're actually changing it. If you guys didn't know that, there's some changes happening where they're doing more online stuff, which means that we will get like more impact stuff later down the road, which I was super excited about because I can't go to Sheffield, Massachusetts at this point. I would love to, but we can't really do that. So the idea that it's going to be more online is super exciting to me because I'd like to take it to the next step and the next step. So
yes.
Yeah. So how about, what do you think about playing with Darian?
It's good. Like I still struggle with trying to figure out stuff. Jamie's a natural. She just goes in there and plays, and part of that, like you've said before, is because he's your son. You know him better than I do.
Yeah.
And so it's easier for you. But
I do it every day.
Every day, yeah. I do it once a week. So yeah,
exactly.
But she's always helping with that. But it's neat to see the change in him even since I started.
Yeah.
We don't red light near as much. It's way more rare to have a red light now.
Yeah.
And just to hear when you say things like how other people have noticed that he's gotten more talkative and
Yeah, he's talking way more now.
yeah,
Way more.
yeah. So and it's good as playing with because he's very loving too.
He is. He's a cuddly boy. He really is.
Yeah, and when this last month, maybe we had a rough time in the summer because of all the
Yeah.
changes and stuff. But
Girls were home and the girls are home. That caused issues. And we started with my husband being home. He took the first week of the summer off. So that kind of threw everything through a loop for him because his routine was different. But we kind of got towards the end.
Yep.
He figured it out.
Yep.
And this is the last week of summer. So then next week is the start of, I know. I need another month, guys. But yeah, I'll be focused on getting him into school, into the pattern, into, getting that set up again. And then once that happens, we might end up with some more like, oops, I don't want to do this type thing, excuse me. But at the same time, I think he will get there. What do you think about your involvement with the whole thing?
It's neat. It's just rewarding to think that you could be a small part of some kid's success.
Yeah. Yeah, don't cry.
I cried at Hallmark commercials. This is nothing really.
It's okay. It's okay.
But it's super cool to think of.
Yeah.
Like even since I started, like he's started to initiate games with me now. So like I see the change. Like, oh, it's super cool. It's rewarding.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're thinking about it, do it.
Yeah, it's true. And so I guess to wrap it all up in a nice little bow, I'd like to say that you, as the Sunrise parent, are going to go through a journey, and your kid's going to go through a journey, and then your volunteer is also going to go through a journey of trying to figure out, okay, what does this look like? Hopefully you can have your volunteers watch this, and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, I don't need to be freaked out that I'm going to wreck them.
They should know it, because even sometimes still, because it is intimidating. It's all good, but in the beginning, especially like for volunteers, but I did think I was going to throw up before I would leave every day.
Oh,
and but no, it's all good. Like that's normal.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely going to be a journey that each of you are going to go on, but at the end of the day, I can say for a fact that this woman is now a part of our family. She moves, I'm going to be angry. But if she moves, we're still going to have that relationship that I, wouldn't necessarily have had because of the journey that we've been on. And then our relationship has grown from, hi, neighbor, to like going and we did pictures and we had fun and we did other things beyond the Sunrise program. This year I might get her to help me make manipulatives and stuff like that so that she knows how to play the games and stuff that I introduce, just to get another person involved in some of that. But yeah, at the end of the day, you end up with a friend, especially if both of your purpose and goal is to help that child. So I'm super excited, super pumped. I've got one more volunteer coming in September, and he's going to be at the start of this. Thankfully, they know each other, so if he goes, I'm going to throw up, she can go, it's normal.
Here's a bucket, you don't need it, but it's fine. Yeah.
It's all good. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was super helpful. Share, like, so that we can get more people involved in watching the show. If apparently I found out if you don't have lots of likes, that like they just don't show it on your possible like things. So if you like this, like it, subscribe, hit the bell button so you don't miss any of that. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.